I think the whole reason that your story is so important and important to the Randolph community is because I don't think you could have done it without the support of the Randolph community. And it started in kindergarten when you started riding at 4 years old, and Randolph supported you all along the way.
And that was something that made it so special, was the fact that I could come home from a horse show and have friends and teachers and classmates all ask me how my weekend was and how it went, and just having a community that really cared, like genuinely cared about my success and encouraged me to do better every weekend.
And a lot of them had blind faith in you. As long as you got your schoolwork done, you communicated. They would come to me and go, "Is she riding for the Olympics?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." People didn't really get what you were doing, but they knew it was big and they knew it was a part of you. And riding on a national level wasn't easy, keeping up schoolwork and friends. And you made it look easy, and your teachers helped you along the way.
Well, the teachers really made that possible. It would have been very difficult if they hadn't, and just I don't know how I would have been able to do it unless they would have fully given their commitment to my success.
I think people have always thought this sport, like I said, was easy for you, and as a mom, I guess I've admired you keeping up with your schoolwork and taking care of 1,500-pound animals on the road and getting yourself organized and out the door and then coming back into real life. And it hasn't been easy, and we've had some adversity. We truly have. It started out fun and riding ponies, and that was really, really fun. It was your passion. It was a hobby.
Yeah,
it was a hobby. And then once we took the leap, I think, to start riding in A shows, which put you on the national stage with hunter jumpers, it became a different game.
It did. It became a career. It became something. If I didn't work at it every day, or I wasn't focused or even thinking about it every day, I'd fall behind.
When I'm thinking about the biggest adversity, I guess I think about your hunter. We called him Hunter, and that was your first horse. And we brought him down to Florida to this national trainer to the stars, and you showed up with this horse, and he looked at you like, "What's this?" Backyard horse with a backyard girl from Alabama. And you proved them all wrong. And I'll never forget, they announced you 5th out of all those horses in the country on our homegrown Alabama horse with the Alabama girl. And this year, in front of all your peers and people from all around the nation, we were standing there. And you get to tell it. You were standing there, and you went in for the very last round, and you were sitting in pretty good place after your first two rounds. We thought you'd ribbon. There were 43 horses that qualified for this junior hunter fight, and they were there.
Best junior hunters in the country, all competing there. And it's always been a fun show for me, and I just knew it was my last one. I just really wanted to have a solid last junior hunter finals. It's always been my dream to win a big major final. But it was always one of those dreams that was a little out of reach, but I just kept working for it. And the first 2 rounds were very solid and consistent, and I had good scores. I knew I'd be in the top 10, but I went in for the last round, and one of my trainers looked at me before I went in and said, "This is your last one. Ride it to win it." And it just completely changed my mindset, and I just went in there determined to nail every single round and every single jump and just make it perfect.
And you could have heard a pin drop in there. It was that pretty. Everybody was just watching and going, "Oh my gosh." You could just see it.
Right. It was like when I walked in the ring, it was just, I had a feeling that it was about to be amazing. And I walked out, and the best feeling in the world, the crowd went wild, which there's usually not a big crowd, so that was exciting when everyone started cheering and clapping and crying, and it was the best way to end I could possibly imagine. And so I walked out, and I was sitting first overall when I walked out, and there's 8 left to go, and they were the top 8. And so I was watching them, and the 4th to last walked in, and they announced the rider, and they said they're in here to challenge Caroline Jones's top score. And my trainer looked at me and was like, "You're in the lead overall right now? I didn't think you were." And I was like, "I didn't think I was either." So then we're like, maybe we heard it wrong. So then we watched the last 4 go, and they were having nice rounds, but they weren't beating ours. And it kept saying, like, 2nd place or 3rd place. No one was beating my round. And the last girl went in, and I knew she was going to beat me. She was laying it down. in the last jump, remember, the horse got too close to the jump and rubbed it. And it was just like unreal. My trainer turned around and was like, "You just won the whole thing," and gave me a huge hug and was like, "You proved me wrong. You really did." And so we went in there and got the award, and it was the most surreal experience.